Hello, my name is Mike, and in this video you join me next to the 2020 Ram 1500 EcoDiesel. And as you can see, it's a pretty big boy. I mean, I'm 6'4", and this makes me look small. But anyway, let's see how good this thing is. Let's go for a drive. Under the hood of the Ram 1500 Limited, you have actually a few engine options. There is, of course, the very famous 5.7 liter V8 Hemi. There's also the same engine available with e-torque, or you can get what I have here, which is a 3 liter V6 EcoDiesel. There is, of course, also a gasoline V6, but that's for the lower end trims. This 3 liter V6 EcoDiesel produces 260 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. That's actually best in class for the diesels of the 1500s. And also, speaking of best in class, this truck has best in class towing. It'll tow a maximum of 12,750 pounds, but that's with a gasoline engine. With this diesel, the maximum you can tow is 12,560 pounds. However, don't let the marketing department fool you, because that maximum tow rating with this diesel engine is not on this limited trim. It's actually on the base trim, the Tradesman. And it's also not with 4x4, it's with 4x2 and the double cab, so not even this crew cab. However, back to this engine, diesels are known for being a little bit more, how can I put this, lazy compared to their gasoline counterparts. I'm not saying it's slow to react, because as soon as you touch the throttle, even just a tiny bit, it'll immediately pick up. But what I'm saying is you really need to push the throttle down to get any sort of movement going. If you want something with a bit more immediacy, then take a look at the gasoline instead and not the diesel. But the reason why you would consider a diesel engine over a gasoline engine is, of course, fuel economy. This engine is rated at 8 liters per 100 kilometers on a highway and 11.1 liters per 100 kilometers in a city. So far, I've been driving mostly city. About 80% of my driving so far has been city, and I'm averaging about 10.7, 10.8 liters per 100 kilometers. If you're going to be doing a lot of highway driving, then this truck with this engine is the one to go for. Made it to the engine, and actually all the engines with this Ram 1500 Limited, is an 8-speed automatic transmission. And this is genuinely the best transmission of all these 1500 pickup trucks. The shifts are buttery smooth, and as soon as you put your foot down, it's very quick to react. I'm in 7th right now, put my foot down to 4th, just like that. In terms of handling, well, it's a pickup truck, and this one weighs the better part of 2.3 tons, so it's not exactly a sports car around the corners, but steering is very quick to respond, and there is quite a bit of body roll even with the air suspension. However, the biggest problem though is if you're on a very twisty mountain road, these seats do not provide a whole lot of side bolsters. So you're going to be doing a lot of this unless you really brace yourself. The Ram Limited is available with a 5'7" or 6'4" length bed. This particular demo had the shorter bed along with the Ram boxes, which are the lockable boxes to either side. These do take away from the overall bed width though. The recently updated GMC Sierra still boasts a larger bed with or without the Ram boxes. As for that tailgate, it does allow for easier reaching into the bed when it's open in its barn door configuration. But GMC's Multi-Pro tailgate is still more versatile with 6 different configurations. As for that 60-40 split fold when the tailgate is down, you don't need to worry. It can still hold up to 2,000 pounds of cargo. The 2020 Ram 1500 is easily the most comfortable pickup truck on the market right now thanks to the optional air suspension. It can raise from a low entry height to an off-road 2 height. Even with those optional 22-inch wheels and low-profile tires, road bumps are easily absorbed by the air suspension. The front seats are fantastic when it comes to providing comfort. Like I said earlier, not much in the way of side bolsters, but for normal city or highway driving, you can go for a long while before needing to stop and stretch. Speaking of stretching, you can pretty much do that in the back of this crew cab. The Ram 1500 has more rear legroom than its competitors, which makes it feel like you're in a cathedral. Headroom is also plentiful even with the addition of the panoramic sunroof. The rear seats can also recline for added comfort, or they can be lifted for underseat cargo storage. The cabin also has plenty of cargo areas to store small items. There are 2 glove boxes, and the center console is deep and has a movable partition. The cup holders in the center can also be moved from the front to the back of the console. In terms of noise, the cabin is actually very well insulated. At idle, you don't even hear this engine. It's only when you really put your foot down do you start to hear that diesel engine. Granted, it's not the best sound. The V8 is obviously going to sound a lot better than this. But when you're just cruising on a highway, the most noise that you're going to hear is a little bit of tire noise and a little bit of wind noise. Other than that, it's a very, very quiet interior and a very nice place to be in. You can't talk about gadgets in the Ram 1500 without talking about the massive 12-inch infotainment touchscreen. It is a high-resolution and very responsive touchscreen that doesn't feel overly distracting when driving. The lower trims receive an 8.4-inch or a 5-inch touchscreen. Other gadgets on the Ram 1500 Limited include heated and ventilated front and rear seats, adaptive cruise control, parallel and perpendicular parking assist, power side steps, lane departure warning, forward collision alert with emergency braking, LED headlights, and surround view cameras, just to name a few. Speaking of surround view cameras, I feel like Ram fell into the same trap as Toyota did with the Prius and the large portrait touchscreen, because the surround view feature only occupies the top portion of the screen rather than the full screen itself. On the outside, the Ram 1500 looks very sinister with this all-black design. I particularly like the power bulge and the vents in the hood. Even in this diamond black pearl paint color, the vents stand out and give the truck a muscular look. It's also a big truck. It's one of the biggest 1500 trucks on the market today, which makes it quite difficult to park or maneuver around smaller parking lots. All in all though, the exterior exudes presence and luxury. The Ram 1500 starts at around $44,500 Canadian, while this limited trim starts at around $72,600 Canadian. Fully loaded, you're looking at around the $90,000 Canadian price range. Almost $4,000 of that price is due to the premium that the EcoDiesel engine demands over the standard Hemi V8. So in the end, would I recommend this 2020 Ram 1500 Limited? Well, if you want a pickup truck that is very fuel efficient and luxurious and very comfortable on the roads, then yes, this is definitely the one to go for. Especially if you're going to be doing quite a lot of highway driving. This one has one of the best fuel economy figures of any of the other pickup trucks. But if you want to know more about this 2020 Ram 1500 Limited, I wrote a comprehensive and detailed review of it over on my website. You can find the link in the video description. And as always, I will see you in the next car or truck, or probably be an SUV next time. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and see you in the next video.